Here we are. Welcome to Come Town.
No, that's a different show. Yeah, this is the Love Gurus podcast. You are listening to the Love Gurus podcast. Thank you for being here. We have started on time. I think that's the first time this has ever happened. It's truly
Maybe
a
ever.
Thursday night miracle. Here we go.
You think your love life is going kind of bad?
Oh, it sucks.
If you find out your girl
No, it's not. It's one of the listeners.
accidentally banged your dad.
She's sneaky like that.
You think your romance maybe ain't the norm. If you find out your fiance has been slipping it to your mom,
Like regularly?
just ask the love
We-
gurus
Ah.
to tell
Every
you
Thursday.
what to do. Listen to the love gurus, or your life is screwed.
Yes, yes. It is. Here, let's get you a little closer. I don't think that mic is.
Not working?
No, there we go.
Come
There we go.
on.
Now it's good.
I can get my own thoughts.
We are live. Thank you for being here on the Love Gurus podcast, man.
Jake,
we are,
Jake.
Oh, thank you. Yes, for those of you who are regular listeners and listen live, this is the first time we've started on time since we've had the whole video set up. So,
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, people are probably thinking, oh, I've got a few more minutes to log in.
No.
Because, no, we're started.
No,
We've
stop
started.
Not this time.
Stop hitting your kids and come listen.
No, keep hitting your kids while you listen to the podcast. It's a family show. It's a
Might as
family
well.
show. Yes, absolutely. We'll teach you how to do it better, how to not get caught. Body shots, no faces. They have to go to school. No one's
Yeah.
looking at the ribs at school. If
I
they
just-
are, fuck that teacher.
I feel
you know?
like this is the start of a Netflix documentary. They're going to be like, well, it started with the Love Gurus podcast. Then Brenda thought she could do whatever she wanted to Timmy. And then it's, sort of like that question of, who's that girl that she went to jail for, like, telling her boyfriend to kill himself and then he did.
Yeah, I watched that the
yes.
other day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's,
I love all those murder docs.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Who
I
I feel like-
feel good watching.
It is interesting, how entertaining murder is, but again, I think it's just more of like we're learning what not to do, because
I
some
watched
some murders are accidental.
I watched that gypsy one the other day. It's like her mom forced her to use a wheelchair and
Yes.
she kills her.
Yeah,
That's a
that was
great,
crazy.
wow.
That
Forces her to
one,
use a
yeah.
wheelchair?
Her mom forced her to pretend that she was very sick. So
Like
they
to
could-
get disability?
She had
Yeah, to
it's
get
a-
money.
Yeah,
And
well,
like
and
that's
charity. They built
And
a
she
house.
made her sick too, right?
She made her sick with all
wow.
the. Well, she would give her medication that would mirror the symptoms that you would have with each disease. She
Yeah.
was
That
pretty
sounds like
messed
Michael
up.
Jackson's
it was
dad.
she got it was like
That's
with
crazy.
Munchausen by
Yeah.
proxy. Or
She only
something.
got she only got 10 years, which for murder, stabbing someone to death isn't not too bad.
Yeah.
Especially your own kid. Jesus.
No,
It was-
the daughter killed the mother.
Oh, the daughter killed
or
the mother?
she hired someone. Yeah, she
Yeah, it
ordered.
was like
Oh.
a boyfriend or something. But I watched
Who
like
was
the.
autistic and probably a comedian.
How?
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Did you watch the
You
one
want to
that's
make
like
more
the-
than just drink tickets? Here's a gun and a ski mask.
Did you watch the one that it was like the
No, that's
reenactment?
the only one I watched. The reenactment.
Ah, okay, because I watched one where it was like the documentary, and so and maybe they
No,
said
the one
this.
I watched was all acting.
Yeah, this was like in the documentary they interviewed this girl that knew them in the town, knew them as a community, knew
Yeah.
her from, and she goes, when I was sat in the courtroom and I watched her walk.
Yeah, because she was always in a
from-
wheelchair.
She goes, I was floored. Yeah, because she'd only seen this girl in a wheelchair, and it really is like.
I mean, they interviewed her.
And it's saying
She
story.
seems
Wow.
like a normal girl that just got traumatized. I mean, the mother was a terrible. Everyone, by all accounts, a terrible.
And it's a
person.
gypsy podcast?
No,
They're
her name's
gypsies?
Gypsy.
Oh, her name's Gypsy. Please
Yeah.
tell me that Fleetwood Mac's Gypsy is the theme credit song.
Missed
the mom.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Her name is Gypsy. The mom was Dee Dee.
Wow.
Yeah.
I so want Fleetwood Mac's Gypsy playing throughout a murder series now.
For
This
sure.
is amazing.
Yeah.
Stevie Nicks would be all over it.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, Tyler on YouTube says, welcome. Hope everyone is good today. Thank
Sup,
you, Tyler.
Tyler?
We're doing good.
There's a lot of murderers out there.
Yeah.
yeah.
Speaking
spread
of
the word.
murderers, both of our guests are straight killers, man. They're hilarious stand-up comics. Let me introduce him. First up, he is a returning guest, hilarious stand-up comic, Mr. James Pontillo. Thank
What's
you.
up? This is my third time, fourth.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
You get the green velvet jacket after
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Goes to show you what you can accomplish when you're free on a Thursday night.
There you
Yeah.
go. That's the secret to success right there.
A rainy
Yeah.
Thursday. Yeah.
I love this podcast. Love the listeners.
Dude, we love you, man, and we also love our second guest, first-time guest of the podcast.
Yeah.
The one, the only Vannessa Jackson. Thank you for being on the show.
Woo, thank you.
Absolutely. Tell them where they can find you, both of you guys.
Find me right here.
Yeah, find them
yeah.
on the podcast.
Well, yeah.
right now.
If you have like a social
Live.
media or like another show or
Yeah.
or if your own podcast that you want to plug,
It's
who knows?
at TikTok at Pontillo James.
you
TikTok's
go.
my big for the kids.
Nice.
kids.
Oh, for the
100%.
kids.
Very fresh.
Instagram, same name.
Got it. Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, kind of TikTok, but we're building.
Okay.
At,
There you
yeah,
go.
at Very Vannessa with 2 N's.
Nice.
Very Vannessa with 2 N's. It's good to point that out. I actually had a hard time tagging you on social media because I even know you, and I was like,
Yes, it's a
it's not
struggle.
coming up. Yeah, because most of Vanessa's only got the 1 N. You got to type in the 2 N's, people. Don't fuck this up.
Yeah. But so speaking of fucked up, we have a lot of really fucked up people that we have to help this week.
Absolutely.
By the way,
it's-
we've never helped anyone, but we aim to.
We've helped them with our our podcast in itself is like Munchausen by proxy. We're not helping anyone. We're giving them the medication to
Yes.
because
Because we're caretakers.
Yeah,
If they don't want to take the medicine, if they want to sit there going, listen, I heard on InfoWars that the Love Guru's medicine is bad. What can we do? I'm not gonna force them to take
listen,
it.
it's advice, and whatever adjective you want to put before the word advice, it's up to you. Okay, I'm not here to put words in your mouth.
Absolutely.
Bad.
Tyler on YouTube says, just an FYI, I am not a murderer. That's good, man.
Nice.
Hey,
We
that
always
would
tell
be, that
people.
would be like an episode
Or-
if he came out as a murderer in the
Yeah.
comment section.
And then
Trying to
But-
fill us
and then
on
we got subpoenaed or whatever, and then
We would get so many more views.
we would
though.
just be like, well, he said
That's
straight up
true.
he's not
Right.
a murderer, and then they're like, well, if we must have quit.
Tyler on YouTube, if you ever do become a murderer, I mean, I'm glad you're not. Don't become a murderer just
No.
for us. But I'm just saying, if you happen to, just coincidentally.
I would
If
highly
you do murder
recommend
someone,
not.
murder someone
Please,
who kind
tell
of
us.
deserves it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
murder only dicks. Be Dexter, you
Yeah,
know? Be Dexter,
Dexter.
not John Wayne Gacy, right? Like, that's the move.
Wow, we were murdered a serial killer. We're like aiming big. I love it.
Wow.
Yeah, start.
They don't start as
Swing
serial
for the
killers.
fences. Start high, you know?
Yeah, so there's
All
a
right.
range of murderers.
Serial killing's
born.
like the varsity team of murderers.
True.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
Maybe you start with a few tax cheats.
With anger,
You know what I mean?
maybe just a little anger.
Yeah. Someone's just kind of an angry person, you know, cutting everybody off.
Yeah.
Is just kind of a dick.
Why not?
Hey.
Start with them, and then we'll work our way to serial killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for right now, we will work our way to our first question on Reddit. If you guys have any questions to write in, write them to loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com. But first, let's hear from our unofficial fifth member, the White Wine. Right now, we're drinking Dominique Privote Sauvignon Blanc. Do you want a nice, delicious Sauvignon Blanc? You can't do better than this. This wine is from 100% Sauvignon Blanc. Notice that it's in big
Wow.
writing and it's full.
Wow.
They want apparently they're tired of all this fake Sauvignon Blanc up there. You know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah.
tired of it too.
Yeah.
Many times I buy Sauvignon Blanc for the podcast, and I'm like, this is about a quarter baking soda. They stepped on this shit. I need 100% Sauvignon Blanc. You
It
know?
almost sounds like they just took the leftovers of other Sauvignon Blanc bottles and put it into that bottle.
Yeah.
And they're like
Sauvignon Blanc,
100% leftover Sauvignon
Yeah.
Blanc.
So true. Like we're
Do
here.
Sauvignon Blanc doing an hour at the cellar this Friday.
There you go.
Check them out.
This is grown in the chalky clay soils of Touraine. I'm tired of non-chalky
Sounds like
wine.
just like a nice way of saying someone's asshole.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
This leafy and hibiscus aroma are both fresh and distinctive of this great variety and taste like someone's asshole. Wait, no, that was added. Drink
But
young.
Maybe not a bad thing. I don't know.
Might be
Yeah.
all right.
You know what it tastes like? It tastes like wine.
Yeah.
Regular wine. There's nothing special about it.
Yeah, they're not using their feet to crush these grapes like a bunch of hacks. No. Drink young either as an aperitif, I don't know what the fuck that is, or as the perfect accompaniment to fish and spicy cuisine. Huh.
Wow.
Normally I don't think
Wow.
fish is spicy.
Okay.
It's-
So a
yeah, it's
spicy
weird-
shrimp dish is what
Yeah.
they're saying.
So it's not
Okay,
too
got
acidic
it.
because I get an acid reflux pretty bad.
Yeah, me too. But I do like some spicy. It's just weird. You think there'd be some stuff in there, like chicken, beef. I don't know something. No. Either fish or spicy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with it. If it's
Weird
not there.
range. Yeah.
Yes. Dominique Laprovate, get you some. Now let's hear a question from Reddit.
First question. Should I get my very recent ex fired for his affair with his employee? My very recent ex and I are both 33, and I caught him having an affair with his 28-year-old employee. He promoted her to be his equal right before, possibly during, his affair. We were together for 7.5
This is another series Fleetwood Mac should be playing.
True.
We were together for 7.5 years, and I cut it off immediately without regret. Here's the sticky part. He's telling me and my roommate that we need to let him stay until he finds a place. His company doesn't know about the affair, and he's playing the victim card with them by saying that I kicked him out and he needs to transfer offices to a different city to afford the rent without me. The office is doing it, but not soon enough for my comfort. If he loses his job, he'll have to go stay with his sister and move out of town immediately. I want to report his actions to the company, which will likely lead to him losing his job. Am I validated in wanting to ruin his life in this way? What he did was cruel to me, her, and his company. That has been very good to him. Should I still do it? Also, not posted from a throwaway account because I don't care if he sees this.
Oh yeah!
I had to.
Is that a novel?
I had to include that last. It's actually an excerpt from a Hemingway. But yeah, so I had to include that last sentence because what happens a lot of time on Reddit, as I'm sure you guys know, is that people will create a fake account because apparently, like, looking into your significant other's Reddit account for clues is a thing. Like, I didn't know that we were that into other people's business, but
Listen, if
we
your
are.
significant other has a Reddit account, you should be looking into it.
That's a good point.
There's
Yeah, that's
stuff
a
Fair
red
enough.
flag.
What an
Yeah.
interesting problem to have.
So this
Yeah.
so this is not this is her own Reddit account.
So he's not cheating on her with the employee. He already cheated on her.
So to give a quick synopsis, they'd been together for 7.5 years. He cheated on her with the other person at his work. Now, it's unclear if he promoted that that woman, like, you know, before or during the affair. Like, that part's very murky. However,
I think it's a total coincidence. I think post-coital, he's sitting there going through the spreadsheets, and he's comparing Excel sheets completely, 100% evenly, and she just happened to be the best.
also,
candidate.
I just think it's very antiquated to say, oh, well, she slept with him to give a promotion. Like, women aren't really doing that anymore. You know, or am I, like, wrong on that? I just feel like
I agree. I don't think that maybe that's why she slept with him, but that might be why he gave her the promotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like
It's
she
just-
wasn't necessarily. You're saying she wasn't doing it for the promotion.
Yeah.
But that was just sort
She's
of like
not
I
a
mean-
bad
oh.
bonus.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She's like, I'm all right. Yeah. So the
An extra $10,000 a year is decent sprinkles for any dick. Okay,
Yeah.
this whole women don't sleep with guys for promotions. Really, I don't think guys sleep with women. I don't think guys promote women to sleep with them either. Like, no, they totally do.
It's just
Both things happen.
I just can't believe that a guy with authority would abuse his power.
Don't buy it.
It's not
hard to think, right?
yeah.
Not in
that happens very
2022.
often.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So the
It
person.
sounds like just a lot's going on here.
Yeah, so the
Sounds
person
Hashtag free
writing-
Harvey.
Sounds
the
like a
person-
Lord of the Rings book.
So this guy, the guy who cheated, is still living with his ex. His ex is the one writing
See,
the question.
that's a problem right
And so
there.
she is like, listen, you need to get the F out of the apartment. He's like, oh, well, they're transferring me, blah, blah, blah. And so she's like, okay, since you are not moving out, do I blow up your world and tell the job about the affair?
Here's the thing.
And because he cheated on her.
As a petty person, I think
we
what
go.
she thinks is going to happen is that she's going to do this, and then he, like she said, he's going to have to, like, move in with his sister and leave town. If you ruin his life, he's ruining your life. This man is not leaving your apartment.
Yeah. I think the risk of him becoming a squatter
Yeah.
is much more
Oh, yeah.
than
Yeah,
him,
100%.
is not worth the sort of, very finite glee you get from sending that email, like,
Exactly.
John and Trisha were sleeping together.
He's
I
gonna
think
stay
they-
in your
like-
house.
I think they should work it out.
Be like, I see a little bit of love here still. No.
Yeah, the guy who sleeps with his employees that he's thinking about promoting, he's
Yeah.
pretty good at using his positions of power to get what he wants.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
He's going to stay in that apartment
Yeah.
24/7. He's going to be naked all the time. You're not going to be able to bring
Yeah.
people over. He's going to make your life a living hell.
He's going to sit there and go, look at this. Under the Biden administration, I got COVID just now.
Yes.
So I can't leave. I
Oh,
can't
100%.
Plus, it's, to me, again, and she doesn't really know the story of the other person, so the person that he cheated with, like, we don't know her story. what did he say to her? Did he say, "Oh, I'm in an open relationship. I'm not in a relationship"?
Yeah.
We don't know her story, and so if she sends this email to the company, like she's gonna have something happen with her as well.
Although it sounds like they all
Yeah.
work together. It sounds like they all work at the same office.
With the lady writing the question?
No,
Yeah.
I don't. I
You think
think
so?
I don't think that the person writing the question works at the same office.
Oh, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you,
I think
are you
that-
raw dogging that seltzer?
Oh my god!
You're gonna drink it out of
I'm
a
gonna
bottle?
I'm gonna put this whole cap in my
Like
mouth.
an alcohol. No, I think she should just let it go. It seems like she's just jealous.
I think it's in that, because she said something I thought that was a little indicator, because she said, I ended it and haven't looked back. Well, if you haven't,
you're
if
posting
you haven't
on
looked back,
You're asking
little
us
bit.
what to
or
do.
Yeah.
You're
still
100% leaning out the window of the car, Ace Ventura
Yes,
style,
yeah.
looking in back
You're
of your
looking
car
back.
right now.
Can you,
That's-
can you
a
give
little
me
bit.
advice on how to not look back?
Yeah.
Her version of not looking back is like being in one of those like 3-way dressing room mirrors where you
Yeah.
can see every angle. She's using a mirror and she is looking back. So
Oh, yeah.
if I think that she is just in that still like sore state where she's upset that she got cheated on. They were together for 7.5 years. Because if she's 33, that's a big chunk of your 20s.
Yeah,
like,
7.5
that's-
How big was the chunk that we're talking about?
Well, so she's 33, like, so they got together when she was like 26-ish. So from 26 to 33-ish.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Those are
critical
prime,
years.
Prime
Yeah.
years. Yeah.
That is a
So-
big chunk. We're all about the big chunks here on the
Yeah.
Love Guru podcast.
Yeah.
Those are important years, dude. I mean, I know, like, I'm 38.
I don't know why they're
and
important,
I'm
but
broke.
they just are.
But, like, if I was a billionaire, I wouldn't have no 33-year-old on my yacht.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Who would?
No.
What
All the
I-
other billionaires are going to be pointing from their yachts and laughing at me.
If I were her, I would befriend the girl he cheated with and bring her over for wine nights or whatever all the time. That'll get him out. I'll tell you.
Yes.
Yeah.
A good conspiracy goes best with what Domine la Privote.
There we
the
go.
official wine
Every
of
night.
conspiring with your ex's current
Yeah.
mistress.
We love the plugs
Umar.
here.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But here's the other
I
thing
think she
about
should
this.
let it go. Just
Yeah, I agree.
Gotta
because
let go.
The other thing that's going to happen is, this is something. I mean, this is like a pretty like nuclear like meltdown of
This
a
could
person.
be bad for her.
Yeah, because also, so she moves on. She goes into another relationship, and then she has a few glasses of the wine that we're drinking tonight. She's on a date with someone else, and it's like 3 or 4 dates in, it's like, well, what happened with your last relationship? She's like, well, he cheated on me, so then I emailed his HR and got him fired.
Yeah. Also, yeah,
that
it's
is not.
Yeah. So I ended him.
Don't mess with
That's
If I'm
not
on a
gonna
Tinder
give you
date
your
and they
happy
say that to
ever
me,
after.
I would literally rather them say, I am Casey Anthony. And she broke up with me because of that whole swamp thing, which wasn't my fault.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's not her fault. There's swamps
So
everywhere
true.
in Florida.
Yeah.
I told him it was the swamp thing who did it. You guys saw that movie. He's a real fucking jerk.
I
Yeah.
think she should just let it play out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because but also the other thing is, so you're in those sort of like, as we said, like sort of crucial years of one's life. They were together for 7.5 years. Like, where was the relationship going? They're obviously living with another roommate. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that they weren't thriving, but it does kind of sound like the relationship in general just wasn't great. He cheated, whatever. I think that this is she missed the bullet, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, and also her saying, and I've never looked back. It's like, if you were with someone for 7.5 years, you might regret it every now and again. Like, if you
Yeah.
immediately got a Reddit account and were like, okay, I'm done.
Sure.
Like, you knew there was something a little off with it, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, right. I mean, no good relationship. Look, I've been cheated on. I've cheated on people. Neither one of those things has ever happened in a relationship that was going perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, something's got to be wrong. Especially if, he didn't just cheat on her. He cheated with somebody at work. And again,
Which is
say
terrible.
what you want. Yeah, you kind of got to be a piece of shit, especially to sleep with a subordinate under any circumstance. I think it's kind of fucked up. That said, it's a sort of long-term situation that you automatically are in with somebody at work.
At least
he didn't just fuck some lady at a bar who he's never going to see again.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm done enough with this 6.5-month relationship thing. I'm
Yeah.
about to start fucking somebody I'm going to have to see every day, even if it goes bad. Now, again, might just be because he's a piece of shit. I'm sure it half is because he's a piece of shit, but that piece of shit decided to put himself into that. He decided to super glue himself to a mistress.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And that doesn't happen in a good
At least he's
relationship.
employed. That's good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
he does
got
have
a
a job. So
He's got
Unless she acts on this and then all downhill.
Ladies.
yeah.
I don't know what the rest of the questions is, but I guarantee you, if it's women, most of these guys ain't going to be employed. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
They certainly ain't going to be supervisors. I can tell you that right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
would
he's
be-
a supervisor. I say keep him. Try to make it work.
Yeah.
Joel says, hello, friends. Hello, Joel.
Hi,
How's it
Joel.
going? Let's see. Joel on YouTube says, at the Love Gurus podcast, Jake, I didn't mean to cheat. I thought we were broken up. Yeah, I mean, it's,
That's funny.
dude. And you gave a nice young lady a promotion out of the deal. So
Yeah.
it's like you're
Yeah.
helping people.
Yeah, but so my final advice is
He's
to this
closing
person
the
is-
wage gap. this
Yeah.
guy.
That's right.
Totally.
That's right. Breaking the glass ceiling with his dick from
Basically,
above.
her
I like
question
that.
is: this person hurt me. Should I ruin their life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I say
Yeah.
no.
And I agree. My final advice is, look, in the short term, it seems like you're still a little angry, even though you're
Right.
not admitting it to yourself.
Yeah.
But in the long term, I mean, this is just something that, I mean, there could be like a lot of like negative repercussions for you. So
Yes.
Oh,
just get him out of the apartment. Listen, breakups are tough. You've been together for 7.5 years, but just get him out of the apartment and move on with your life. If anything, let's remember that the opposite of love is apathy and not anger. Learn that from America's Next Top Model. What? Okay.
Great work.
Or
But
you
yeah.
can just not take our advice at all. That also works.
Yeah.
It's,
Blow up
Yeah.
your life. Why
yeah,
not?
it's-
Totally blow. Yeah, blow
There's
up
no
your life.
telling. There's no telling what will work.
Could
Post
be fun.
post the sex videos of you two online. That's
Go all in. Go all in.
Joel on YouTube says it won't happen again because you have Amy now. That's you know what I mean. It's fine. You know. She's there, but she ain't here right now, dude. It's a long distance relationship because I live in Queens.
She's 3 blocks
and my
away.
wife is not home right now. You know, so I don't know what she's
in
doing.
just a different part of New York City.
Yeah. Different borough, different rules.
Yeah.
Don't hate the player, hate the borough. That's what I say.
Okay, so any other final advice for this question?
No, I think she should just jump off a cliff. No, I'm pro supervisor, and I hope he's hiring more women.
Yeah, rarely ever. Yeah, the more we've dissected it,
It's like the
And
weirdest,
also, we don't-
the
why-
career fair is just in his bedroom.
Yeah, it's just
And
a
why did
workplace
he?
training program.
Why did he cheat? Maybe she's terrible. She sounds awful.
Yeah, she sounds like she could be. Yeah.
yeah,
She sounds like a handful.
it sounds like this guy is the guy from the R.B. Grieve song, I Wrote a Letter to Maria, you know? It sounds like that guy. It's barely ever am I... Samson, no barking.
Samson's on the side of the chick.
Yeah, he's how dare you? Same thing happened to me in my first marriage.
with his big penis.
Yeah, you do like to point that out every time you're on it. It's true every time. If anything, that goddamn dick is getting bigger. I mean, you know, he's a chihuahua, but he is hung like a goddamn skipper can.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You don't think Samson cheats for sure?
Dude, in the land of the Chihuahua, the 2-inch Chihuahua dick is king. That's it's massive.
That's why he knows he can just growl and bark at anyone.
100%. He bites me and I feed him every goddamn day. He's like, hey, I got big dick energy on a little dog. I bite the hand that feeds me. What?
100%.
Joel says the opposite of love is apathy. However, the opposite of marriage is I have more money to myself. Yeah.
Yeah, fair
100%.
enough. There you go.
But
Yeah.
I think like this, what she's planning on doing, it's kind of sad and she should just move on because it's like you kind of got to ask yourself in most situations. Amy on YouTube says, I'm not here, but I'm listening, though. Hey, what's up?
What's the point? What is the point of not being here if she's gonna listen anyway?
That's It's I'm being spied.
I mean, it's not even all right. Where is
This
she?
is why people have throwaway Reddit accounts. We've just
Yeah.
This is
discussed.
why.
She might as well just be here.
You gotta check in.
Anyway, I'm
Respect
voting.
to
I'm
Amy.
voting for the guy in that one.
Yeah, barely ever am I on the side of the cheating dude who's banging his employees. But my God, this woman has really pushed me in. I mean, this is some Game of Thrones shit, you know?
Yeah.
How did you push me into Jaime Lannister's corner? Oh my God, he fucked his sister and punted a kid out the window. But it's season 5 and I want to party with him.
I agree.
That's what's happened here.
Yeah.
Plus, you know what? Like you telling his work, it's not gonna fucking happen. You know, like it's what you're trying to do doesn't work. You're trying to get him fired under some kind of like fraternization / semi Me Too kind of thing. Here's how fraternization and Me Too kind of situations are effective in terms of getting the guy in trouble when it comes from the lady he's sleeping with and not his ex. Here's the thing. Here's what I'm going to do if I'm the lady who's happily sleeping with my hot big-dicked boss who just gave me more money. When HR goes, hi, Nancy, are you fucking Dave? I'm going to be like, no, I'm not fucking Dave. I'm just getting more money for no goddamn reason.
It'd be way worse if he had sex with her, then fired her. Like,
that's
gave
brutal.
her a promotion. Maybe she deserved the promotion, and he just happened to have sex with him also.
It totally could just be a lot of people meet at work and totally fall in love consensually.
I mean, if I was his defense lawyer, that's what I'd say. It wouldn't work that well. If the lady he's sleeping with at work came forward and said, this is what he did. He used his position of power. Blah, 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 blah. This is a lady of age sleeping with this guy. Consensual. I'll put it like this. R. Kelly got off scot-free because the girl wouldn't testify, and there was videos of him pissing on a 15-year-old. Okay?
Crazy.
So this guy at Arby's is going to be fine. He's going to be fine. He's going to keep flipping them burgers.
Yeah.
That's
a 4-0 decision. That's a unanimous decision.
Yeah.
We all agree with the
only witness.
cheater.
Yeah. The only witness that matters is not working with you right now. You got to either befriend this lady over a bottle of Domine La Pervate, and get her on your side. And I think there was a terrible Ryan Reynolds movie where they did this. You got to go become the employee of the month. Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
That's Ryan Reynolds?
Or somebody. It was a shit movie. I don't remember.
Dak Shepard
might have been Dane Cook.
I don't know. No, it was Dane
It was Dane Cook. That's right.
Yeah.
Dak Shepard. And it's Jessica Simpson only dates employees in the month.
Yeah. So you got to go do that.
You know how long that plot took to think up? 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And they made a movie out of it.
And it was terrible.
They
should have taken another 5 seconds to decide, let's kill ourselves right now. Movie. But yeah,
because Jessica Simpson's gonna be working at a fucking Costco. Like, that's believable. That's who you see at Costco.
Totally.
I just show up with my eyebrows perfect, looking like I should be on the cover of Sports Illustrated to push around boxes at a warehouse. Like, really, you should have gotten somebody frumpier. I would have believed this story.
Yeah. We like frumpy here on the Love Gurus.
We
podcast.
love frumpy. God damn it.
Yeah, love a frump. But perfect. I think we answered that question. Should we move on to the next one?
I think we did too.
Hey,
Next
woman who got
question.
cheated on. Fuck you.
I hope the next one cheats on you as well, and he will if you keep this kind of attitude up. Anyway, next question on the Love Gurus podcast. If you guys have any questions to write in out there, write them to loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com. Or even better, ask it live every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We were on time this week. I will point that out every time I give the time. We are crushing it. Let's take our next question on the Love Gurus podcast from the wild animals on Reddit.
Next question. I received a note from a woman that I don't know that she is done with me. I'm a widower who is approaching 80. My wife died about 1.5 years ago. We were married for over 50 years, and I miss her very much. I live in a large retirement community, and I recently received a note from a woman who lives here who told me that she is done with me. I barely know this woman. We've had dinner twice. I was assigned to a table that she was sitting at, and once she asked me to have dinner with her, and I accepted, which I'm guessing is now a mistake. I'm not ready for a new relationship, and frankly, I don't think I'll ever be. I'm not depressed. I carry on with my own life. I don't really want a female companion. I've been thinking about answering her note as politely as possible, explaining my situation, but I don't want to give her any kind of hint that I'm trying to start a relationship. I just want to say, I'm sorry if I offended you, but I meant no harm. It's just that I intend to go through life single from now on. Yeah. Should I do this, or should I ignore the letter and hope that she goes away?
Is this guy really 80? Did he say 80?
Yeah, almost 80. Wow.
You have
80.
Yeah, you have to believe everything that is posted on Reddit is 100% true.
And he could use the internet as well.
Yeah, he's a great writer. He's totally with it.
I either do by hand Old English cursive or Reddit.
That's the most shocking thing about that.
He had one of the high school students who volunteers to write this out for him.
Yeah, he's like,
dear Reddit, I still think Chubby Checkers is the greatest singer of all time. Come at me, bro.
There's like some 16-year-old girl working at this community center, and she's like, well, let's ask Reddit. He's like, what? He's like, okay. So to give us
Dave Clark 5 was better than the Beatles. Come at me, Reddit.
He just writes a letter to Jake.
Yeah. So great.
So as we said, he's almost 80. He was married for 50 years.
Wow.
And, I mean,
that's the problem.
He's
right
pretty
there.
much it's been a long time since he's been single. He deserves a few years to himself. There's a woman in the retirement community who I guess was looking into their interactions a bit more than he was, and then wrote him a note that said, "I am done with you." And his question is, should I write a note back to her, or should I just ignore the situation? He obviously doesn't. I mean, he knows about Reddit, but he doesn't know the term ghosting just yet. But we're
Yeah.
Well,
getting
he
there.
will in a year when he does.
I know, yeah, exactly. So true.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
when they
man.
ghost you at 80, you know exactly where they are.
Right, for sure.
We love shitting on old people and women who get cheated on.
Yeah.
So great.
It's sometimes we come hard. You know what I mean? Like, we don't tell people what they want to hear,
think
but what they need
he
to
should
hear.
just enjoy his 80-year-old life and go eat pudding and.
So you think he should not reply to her at all?
No.
Also, I love that
why?
men can be 80 and like, I'm not really looking for anything serious right now. Like, classic
Great.
you, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
But number two, I love whoever this woman. What a baller move! This man just lost the love of his life after 50 years, and she was like, "I'm gonna force myself to eat dinner with him, and then
like
I'm gonna reject him."
What do you
Yeah.
think they
Yeah.
ate for dinner? Probably nothing solid.
Oatmeal.
I
Oatmeal,
love
yeah.
This just smells of like small town waiting. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
He shot me down before he went off to go fight the Germans. I'll fucking show him. I'm just gonna wait.
For sure.
I'm gonna keep eating. Well, that bitch eats fried food every goddamn meal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
outlive her.
So great.
Here's what I think is maybe the problem is that, especially women of that generation, to be in a relationship was your end all be all. You weren't you didn't really get a career because you were a woman. You had to be a mother. So if you're not in a relationship, like, where's your self-worth? So therefore,
is that how
maybe-
you feel?
Huh?
Is that how you feel?
Oh no, I'm totally talking about this old lady.
Of course.
My
But
only
so-
promotion was saying I do. That's my favorite Loretta Lynn song.
But so this woman she's clearly looking for a relationship or some kind of partner. She thinks that there's something there that isn't, and then for her own sanity, she writes a note that says, "I'm done with you." And he's
Wow,
just
yeah.
kind of like, what the fuck? Also, it's a retirement community. She might have dementia, okay? Like,
That's
it's
what I was
not...
thinking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We're not, I'm not
She
saying
thinks
she
she-
is, but maybe she hasn't been taking her Prevagen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
it's, so,
I
yeah.
can't believe you've turned me down. I mean, first off, you pretend to drown when the Titanic crashes. I invited you up on the board with me. There was room for two, and you were like, "No, you stood up there so you could go cheat with a bunch of mermaids and
She's
whores."
like, and then you dipped me and kissed me when you came home from the war, and everyone saw because they took a pictograph of it.
This lady's she's a real nursing home worker.
It's, I'm just saying, like, her mental clarity might not be all there.
Yeah,
So therefore,
true.
if you write, if
the
he writes
doctor I
back,
was gonna marry it told me I was a harlot, and he broke up with me after that photograph in Times Square.
yeah.
I think it's a win for him. I mean,
Yeah,
he didn't
he's
want to be
balling.
he didn't want to be in a relationship. Now he's not in one. Just ignore her and go about
Well, it
it.
might be hard. They're in the same community center.
Well, I mean,
aren't they?
that's, I guess, maybe the question is he's sort of like, if they interact with each other.
Yeah.
But again, if he writes back to her, it might feed.
Why are they
create
writing to each
more
other?
drama.
Don't they live in the same retirement community?
Well, they did this. This is like the generation of correspondence by mail.
Yeah.
They would like write
Wow.
letters. So to send a text is, I mean, this guy can use a Reddit account, but he's still not going to text someone. Are you kidding?
No.
Yeah, this guy is like retirement home Jesus if he
Yeah.
can figure out Reddit. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That's
They
true.
don't do that in retirement.
I have a feeling with this woman that she's done this to other men in the retirement community. So I say find
Oh,
them
yeah.
and
Yeah.
then form an alliance.
Oh, she's a nursing home record?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to
A lot
go.
of
yeah.
dudes have been up in them depends.
Right? Yeah.
Ah.
100%.
I would
Oh,
build an
man.
alliance with all of them.
Yeah.
Because they, you've read those stories of, nursing homes or retirement
Yeah,
communities
they
where,
fuck a lot.
yeah, where there's like a huge, risk of STDs because people are like, I'm 80. What?
Yeah.
What? Oh, am I scared of a little HIV? Nope.
No.
I
Yeah.
hope he omitted that from the Reddit thing. I hope he was like, oh, and I did sleep with her like 4 times.
Oh yeah,
but,
I raw dogged her a few times.
I came in her face.
yeah, but how dare she
Yeah.
leave me a note?
She's got sores that modern medicine thought it killed back in the 60s. I'm here to tell you, it's still alive and well.
Yeah.
Sleeping under the surface like Jaws. In between Jaws 2 and Jaws 3.
It's So my final,
I say, old man, keep doing your thing.
yeah,
Keep doing
I
your
think
thing.
that's my
Do
final
it.
advice: is you keep doing you. ignore this woman. She just sounds like trouble. And this is kind of, you need to enjoy these, years of singledom. Meditate. Do you? Because you haven't been able to for 50 years.
Yeah.
So.
Fuck her kids.
I want a younger, hotter version than her.
Yeah.
I'm behind on comments here. Joel on YouTube says, hang on. Oh, these are old comments, by the way. I think this might be the last question.
Oh, wow. There's a heart next to...
Yeah, next to... You got a shout out. Yeah, Christine on YouTube
Look at that. Okay.
gave Pontillo and a heart.
Any reason for this insanity?
That huge bulge in your pants.
Gee, wow.
Even through his cross legs. It's still poking out some.
I'm like the human Samson.
Yeah.
The humans.
In doggy dicks, it's like 8 inches, man. That's what he's got down there.
Yeah.
Joel on YouTube says, hang on a second. I just found out that I'm going to be out of work in a year or so.
Wait, what?
Is that Dave hiring? I think is the last question.
Now you're not a woman, man.
I can put, but he says I can put a bag over my head and pretend if needed. Well, that's very nice of you,
Okay.
Well, it certainly works for swimmers.
Yeah.
I can tell you that right now.
Well, if he keeps his job, Joel, we'll put in a good word for you.
I like how we're doing comments from like a month ago.
Joel
backloaded.
Joel YouTube says, I'd push Jessica Simpson over all the warehouse boxes. He says, oops, did I say that out loud? Joel YouTube says, at the Love Gurus podcast, rub that being on time shit in Jake. Rub that being on time.
Maybe meant say love.
Say Joel obviously tuned in
we're on
later
time.
because
Love that
it's
being
the first
on
time that we're on
Yeah,
time. Yeah.
100%. Amy on YouTube says, what a hip person this is, understanding Reddit at 80, or am I just confusing people? John on YouTube says, hi, Jake. Hi, Tyler. Hi, Joel. What's going on, John? Tyler on YouTube says, hello, John. I like this, man. We have like
It's a community.
Community, yeah.
Nice.
Community.
Not maybe, yeah. But definitely, let's say our community is much better than this retirement community.
Yeah.
I have to say.
Yeah.
We
Sounds
don't
fun.
fuck as much.
But so my final advice is just let this woman be. What other final advice do we have for this 80-year-old
Keep being old.
Octarian?
Keep doing it. Ghost her.
Yeah.
Just keep being old.
I mean, dude, I've been told by many people in retirement communities that you don't meet your one true love until you're at least 83, 84. So I say just kind of hold out for a couple more years, and then just party. But then again, it's like Suzanne was saying, STDs skyrocket in retirement homes because what are they? They're going to sit in some young fella's office, some mere 55-year-old doctor, and he's going to go, hey, Agnes, you don't want to go raw dogging fellas around here. You might get an STD that lasts, the rest of your life. And she's like, oh, no, not a weird little rash. That will distract me from the fact that I can't feel my left leg anymore.
Yeah.
I don't care.
True.
I think syphilis takes a while to kill you anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like even
Slow burn.
She's like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah,
So,
it's like-
I see what you did there.
I
Just go. This guy should get all Viagra up and just go fuck, man. Play the game that the rest of the retirement home people love. A nice game of naked. Whose
Twister.
medication is it? You know what I mean? You get blindfolded. You dump all the orange bottles in one big old punch bowl. You just pass it around. You start popping and snorting.
Yeah.
And then you just fuck like rabid dogs.
Yeah. I've never snorted acid reflux medication, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
Never know.
I'm one with my heartburn, man. I'm tripping balls.
Awesome. Well, I think we answered
It's
that
another
question.
unanimous decision. 4-0.
Yeah.
Dude,
Wow.
we're knocking it out of the park with this advice tonight.
Pretty much,
I
yeah.
like how we're all on the same team too.
Yeah.
No outbursts, no fights.
No.
Yeah.
These are really easy questions tonight.
I know.
Once we
throw a hard one. Let's give us a
well, they
hard
seem
one.
hard at first, but then we
Okay,
dissect them and
I
we know
think this
exactly what to
next
do.
one
And
they're
we're
right.
on the
We're
next
always
question
on the
board.
bad person's side.
Yeah.
It's, you got to be the bad guy. Just in the words of Al Pacino and Scarface, you need people like me, man. And that's the bad guy. You need the bad guy.
Well, perfect. I think we answered that question. Let's move on to our next question.
Next question on the Love Gurus podcast. People, if you got questions to write in, write them right now to loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com. We're going to take another one from the wild people on Reddit.
Next question. My husband's actions in virtual reality have me questioning him. I'm 26 and my husband's 28. I want to start by saying that he's the most amazing husband and father. I've only ever seen him get physical with someone once when it was to break up a fight outside of a bar. around March of last year, my husband got a VR set and has been playing it a lot. He has it hooked up to our tablet so the kids can stream what they're playing. Every now and then I connect to it while he's playing out of curiosity just to see what he's up to. He plays a wizard and sword fighting game all the time, and sometimes I connect without him knowing to see what he's up to. I caught him decapitating multiple women, picking up their heads, putting them on a sword like some sort of kebab, and then beating another person with it.
Lord of the Ringing women by their necks and showing them who's boss in virtual reality.
Is this SimCity? What game is this?
She says so. A wizard and sword fighting game. Yeah. While he's doing this, he will have a sheepish smile on his face, like he's happy with himself. I also caught him bent over, full sweat, just stabbing someone in the face over and over again while giggling to himself. He doesn't know that I'm watching. I witnessed him take someone apart limb by limb and then beat other people to death with those limbs. Honestly, I'm a little concerned.
Fatality.
I actually brought it up to him, and he said, "Oh, it's just a game. I've dreamed about virtual reality my whole life, and I'm just messing around."
Why are you jerking off to all the King Joffrey scenes in Lord of the Rings? Why? That's not normal.
Yeah, you know how, like, in Grand Theft Auto, it means you're actually going to run over prostitutes.
Yeah. So her question is, should I be worried?
No.
Yes.
What the hell? There's no good questions.
I think she should be a little worried.
I think so, for
Come
sure.
on, guys like shit. Guys like
Is that
weird
part of the
things.
game, though? Like, is that, like, how you win it? Or is he just, like, in a fun game just murdering?
I hope that's the only purpose. I hope he just jumped in there and is like, doot, chop off her head and beat people with it.
It's like if you joined Neopets and then you found he was just, like, strangling some of the animals. You know what I mean? Like, is that how you win the game? Or is that just where he finds out he can murder things?
It would be funny if she found him actually murdering someone. She's like, "Oh, I thought this was just a video game. I'm so relieved.
That was virtual
Snuff
reality.
video.
I thought you were a nerd."
Because comes back covered in blood. He's like, it's part of the game. I don't know.
Yeah.
I started the SimCity farm game to create a dog fighting ring.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, then you have some issues. If that's part of the game, but if it's not,
That's
in the game, do you advance more if you hire a woman in a science position, or do you get more points for ripping her head off and beating some other woman with her head?
Yeah.
Like, what's the...
You know what the weirdest part of this is? Before he decapitated her and threw her head at people, he had sex with her and promoted her. It was really crazy.
that's so fun. If it's the part of the game, then I
What's
wouldn't
the
worry
game
about
called?
it.
This sounds like a great
Right?
game.
Yeah, I know.
Don't leave us hanging!
Right? But if it's not part of the game, I would be very concerned.
Yeah, I think it's...
Love Gurus podcast, proudly brought to you by
Yeah.
Jack the Wizard.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
I think it's also like, it's because I guess I get, like you do these like virtual reality and you get to like do these things. If he's not showing signs of this, the other thing is that he's also 28. So sometimes like things like that,
That's
it's like
way too old to be in a relationship.
Well, I was just gonna say sometimes like it's like serial killers. Some are born serial killers, but like they don't really find their groove until like maybe their late 30s.
Yeah, Ted Bundy had to kill like 5 women before he started to get the hang of it.
I mean, he really kind of had like a career before his second career. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a progression. So if he starts to show like signs of violence, sure. But again, I know it sounds horrible, but it is just a game.
But if it makes her feel better, if he is a serial killer, they don't usually kill their wives, so you're chilling.
Yeah. It's always like
Stand
a random
by
college
your
girl.
man.
Yeah.
You'll just get the knock on the door one day.
You're gonna get TV credits out of it.
Yeah,
You're gonna get a
exactly.
Netflix special
A
before all
great
of it.
Oh my
fun
God.
I'm
special.
jealous of this
She's
lady.
gonna get to meet Diane Sawyer, guys.
I
Oh, ba-boom.
But because of this podcast, we'll all get to be on there, so that'll be fun.
Yes. Give us shout outs in your book that you write that hopefully gets turned into a documentary.
Yeah. I don't.
John on YouTube says it's really Donkey Kong 2022 edition. Tyler on YouTube says, why is that guy any different from me playing Mortal Kombat as a teen? Fatality.
Yeah.
John on YouTube says, this sounds like an average Tuesday. Tyler on YouTube says, I agree, John. Just a normal Tuesday afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because you think about there's a lot of times like you hear, especially like on this podcast and on Reddit, there's a lot of people like, one thing is, oh, my partner watches X genre of porn. You know, should I be concerned? And it's like,
this is officially the weirdest genre of porn we've seen so far.
Yeah, and so it's
my
you know,
favorite.
so that's always a question. Should I be worried? It's like, well, I don't like. Are you picking? Are you picking like for a fight? You know, like you're looking for
That's fair.
fault in
Yeah,
a relationship, or is everything kind of fine and like whatever, like don't broadcast it to grandma, but it's not like he's
Right.
you know, in the grand scheme of things really like hurting or doing anything. I don't know.
My advice is always like, you know the person that you're with the best. If you think you should be worried, then maybe you should be worried. If you're like, you know what I mean? Like if you're like, why do I feel uneasy that he's killing people?
Do you think that she's left something out? She's like, well, we did have a cat, and then that cat was hanging from the garage door opener.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
He said that the cat just got tangled up in there herself.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
It was covered in cigarette burns and used condoms. And
Yes,
I was like, is this?
You're like, what's happening?
I've seen you do this to cats in the Wizard game.
Yeah,
Is this
you-
related?
There has to be a video. You know how like people like put like little booties on cats, like when you, like, and then cats all walk weird. Like, is there a video of like cat with like condoms on its arms?
He's
There's
so good.
there's a bizarre
I'm
like
Julia Roberts in Pretty Woman.
Yeah, what's this guy's high score?
I know,
I want to know.
Yeah.
Well, she said she logged in without his
Well,
like
that's
knowledge.
right away.
You know what I mean? Like if
That's
you're
a
already
problem.
logging in to check on somebody's activity without telling them, you're already concerned about something. Like you were
That's
looking
true.
for something. You weren't just
Yeah.
like, oh, I just stumbled upon it. You were like, I was watching him from our bedroom while he didn't know. You know?
Yeah,
But some guys
exactly.
need to get a release. He's not cheating. He needs a release.
That's true. That's true.
Is this worse
I
or
mean,
better than cheating? It's
not
cheating, he's just a
way
murderer.
Worse. This is
But
way worse.
I don't know, but then again, this could be a bit of an exaggeration from the game because we try to point this out at least once an episode. When in doubt, we try to err against the person writing the question
Yes.
for two reasons. A, these are questions from Reddit, and these people are animals.
B, we don't want to lose listeners.
B, we don't want to lose listeners. If this is coming from listeners, totally different. You guys fucking rock.
Yeah.
That said, the B part still kind of applies to the listeners too, man. This question is their source that's by, for, and about them. It's their personal propaganda, their own Fox News, their MSNBC, their North Korean state-run news if they happen to
all those
inherit the
things.
country. So it's sort of like it's a weird Snoopy thing to do to where you know that much about your significant other's video game habits. Do you know, oh, this is your fake wizard named Blimey. And it's like, well, I mean, you're really...
Yeah.
You know I'm not cheating. You're going into my wizard's name and his dick size? This is crazy.
The
Yeah.
wizard
Yeah.
is cheating. Though,
Yeah,
for sure.
he's just trying to return that ring to that volcano so that guy doesn't fuck around and destroy the universe. Leave him alone.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's there's probably some details that were left out of this question.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So I don't.
And here's a key detail that really like, why were you snooping? That wasn't in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He breezed right the fuck by
Why
that.
aren't you
Yeah.
playing your own,
Yeah.
male Chippendale video game?
Yeah.
What's up? Like you don't want to have fun, let loose a little bit? Okay,
Yeah,
sound
what's-
boring.
Yeah,
But it's like maybe the woman in the game was a bad guy. You ever seen Kill Bill? Maybe it was the one-eyed lady of the before times of the year 1225.
That's
Yeah.
true.
It's the one-eyed. Oh, I'm the one-eyed patch lady, and I've come to fucking turn you into stone for looking at my snake threads. You
Very true.
know, like maybe that was what was going on.
Could be.
This could have been Medusa. He
Yeah.
could have killed Medusa. Maybe all
maybe it
of
was
the people.
baby Hitler. We don't know.
She could have been baby Margaret Thatcher, and
What?
she took her out. He took her out in the before times, and now all the little boys and girls of the Shire are safe, and they're gonna have free health care because of the lady that he decapitated in the
Yeah, we went off the rails a little bit.
I don't know if I
bit.
followed the historical reference, but I got the point overall.
fucking A.
It's the game. There's bad people. And have you ever played Grand Theft Auto? You just,
Yeah.
You just run people over. You
I,
drive.
uh,
and
no
I-
reason.
I
No
play.
reason.
And I
play,
only do that when I'm drunk in real life.
Yeah.
I play a game on my phone where you literally like blow up cats, but it makes it cute. Like they have these cute
I've heard
eyes.
of that.
Yeah, and so I mean, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah, I'd only be worried if you find out that he like named it after you. Like he's like calling it.
That, yeah.
But not-
then
yeah.
we might have a
Yeah.
little bit of a problem.
Might
It's
have
like,
an issue.
and she has like a very specific name, like Daffodil.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's Daffodil who he's
Yeah.
dismembering.
I've come to draw and quarter you, evil Queen Trisha.
Yeah.
Trisha von
If
Felschmidt.
he-
Like, what?
If he just called her like practice bitch.
Yeah. So my final advice is, look, you're just trying to pick a fight, and everything's fine as long as there aren't murdered cats in your garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Any other final advice?
All right, so we agree the men were right all night tonight. Yeah, it's just, straight
Kind
through.
of agree.
I mean, they've been getting fucking nagged on. Even the guy that was kind of me tooing a chick, I kind of like. You know?
The old, I love that.
Somehow-
I wanna meet that old guy.
Jesus, it was me too with with small letters. Like,
Yeah.
no capital letters in that
No,
hashtag.
no.
No, but okay. So you know how they always say like serial killers start off by torturing small animals and shit. You know. Well, they only talk about the guys who tortured small animals and then moved on to people.
Yeah.
What about the guys who just fucking
Who can never make it- who
what
never
about the
advance.
guys who are like, I like killing cats, and then puberty hit, and they were like, no, I like jerking off to Playboy better. You know, like you never hear about those guys,
Yeah.
because they don't end up on a fucking Netflix doc. What about the guy who tortured animals and goes, well, I was just trying to find out where to go to remove the cancer, and now he's a veterinarian. Now he's like kitty cat Jesus.
Could
you know,
be a
we
thing.
never hear about that.
That's true.
And so it's
Justice for them.
Yes, yes. What about the psychos who veer left instead of right? What about those guys?
Yeah.
Who's their champion? Who speaks for them?
A lot of questions, not a lot of answers tonight.
Yes. So I'm saying it's like you have to. It's a weird slippery slope argument to where it's like, oh, he killed a woman in a video game. I'll bet he's got
Just keep
17
playing-
heads in his
keep-
freezer.
keep playing
It's
your
a
game.
It's what you have is you have a sort of peer sort of a path behind enemy lines right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's absolutely true.
Your significant other's psyche, you're seeing a potential red flag that you obviously can't bring up. I was snooping for no goddamn reason. Why did you decapitate the princess?
Yes.
You're going to sound way more psychotic than a guy who just spent all day chopping off fake heads.
Very true.
You're going to sound fucking crazy if you bring this
Yeah.
up.
There's a lot.
So,
yeah.
You have to know that this is there and just know, like, okay, is this going to stop at the kid burning ants with a magnifying glass and then he fucks a chick in junior high and becomes normal?
Yeah.
You know, or is this am I gonna have to look? If you start seeing patterns, that's when you jump in.
Yeah.
You know,
True.
Yeah.
you just gotta look for
We
the
don't
patterns.
like
If they ain't
patterns
there.
here on this podcast. This is a no pattern podcast.
Yeah. We don't fuck with patterns,
Yeah.
dude. That's our new motto. No patterns.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, I think we answered that question, and
I
then
think we
I
did too.
know.
I think we
let's
answered the fuck out
just
of it.
let's go do the lightning round. So that
Uh-oh.
we
Lightning
can-
round.
Yeah.
So I'm going to jump down to question number 5.
Yeah.
We are going to do a quick lightning round. We're going to read the question and then give a quick final answer on this one. People, if you have any questions to write into the podcast, write it. Oh, I didn't.
No, that's
put that
right.
on
That's the
there.
right one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't want it that quickly. I didn't want to blow our load too quickly. And so if you have any questions to write in, write them to loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com, or even better, write it live to us in the chat so we
Yeah.
can read it, for Christ's sake.
Do it.
Live every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, which we were on time for this week.
Totally.
And dare I say, we're going to be on time for next week. Quite probably. This is going to happen. This is going to become a pattern. You know, we said we didn't like patterns? Bullshit. We like patterns now.
Yeah.
The pattern of starting on time. We did it for once, people.
We did it.
Let's take our final lightning round question on Love Gurus Podcast. Here's another one from Reddit.
Lightning round. I used extended pleasure condoms for our first few times, and now she's asking me what's my secret. I'm 23, and I've recently I have been in a friends with benefit relationship with a friend who's 25. I was a virgin, so she offered to have sex with me. Now we're officially friends with benefits. We've been having sex for about 2 weeks now, and it's going great. I had a solid sex education, so implementation is going nice. Nonetheless, during my first few times, I used extended pleasure condoms.
Implement the fuck out of it, dude.
This just sounds like he's bragging.
I
Doesn't even sound like a question. There's no
She
question
just
at the
kept-
end. He just ends with that.
Yeah, there is a question. Yeah,
Moaning. She said, implement me so good.
I was too nervous and cautious about ruining the first time and having the memory haunt me forever.
Sure.
So I, again, used the extended pleasure condoms.
That's what they're there for.
She asked me how I lasted so long after the first time, and I dodged the question, but should I tell her my secret?
No. Why?
Oh, no. Give yourself the extra confidence.
Why?
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
she's in love with you, right?
Also,
Yeah.
those things are
No,
like those are like
no,
six. Those are like
no
$7.
woman is like, okay, no, I can understand like a friends with benefit situation, but yeah, if you're just like, oh, you're a virgin? Okay. I'll have sex with you. Like,
I
she
guess.
likes you.
She likes you. She likes you,
Yeah,
for sure.
That's not a friends with benefit
No.
situation for her. But that being said,
She's trying to trick you.
Yeah.
that being said,
You know the whole like 72 virgin things for suicide bombers? That's only for male suicide bombers. Women suicide bombers are like, no, I want one dude with
So
a decent
true.
sized dick
Yeah.
who knows how to please me. That's
Yeah.
what I want. And he's got to have a job, Allah. Tell him to have a good job.
Yeah.
And tell
Yeah,
him
what-
not to fuck his employees, for Christ's sake. I'm the one. Your employee didn't blow himself up, or herself
And
up.
just be
I
yeah,
did.
and he could help. Just be like, look, I had $9 laying around.
Right.
And walk these
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, I think but when it comes to this situation, okay, my final advice is look, as you go along, you'll learn more secrets about sex and more techniques. And those are for you to keep in your pocket as a bonus. It's not.
They were gonna say as a boner.
Yeah. Also keep your boner in your pocket.
Also.
But yeah, it's if you found a fun little secret, you don't have to disclose that. Just
No.
let her think that you
No.
totally last that long because you're a baller, okay? Just keep it to
Yeah.
yourself. What other final advice do we have for this
Absolutely, keep it to yourself. She's
Yeah.
lucky she's getting that dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't do anything
And
wrong.
also, he's
Yeah.
23. Good for him.
I think he's 25. She's 23?
No, he's 25. She's 25.
Yeah,
Oh,
something like
okay,
that.
older
Nice.
woman.
He's
Go.
23, she's
He's
25.
doing everything right. Don't
Oh.
micromanage.
Yeah.
No,
grinding on the cradle. She is grinding on the cradle.
Love that.
What do the
Uh,
extends do? What do the extend pleasure?
Yeah, I never heard of that.
Oh, you've never heard like this? Okay, this is
What
a
does it
hack
do?
joke that I've heard many male comedians use. Like,
Uh-huh.
so I think it numbs you a bit. And so a joke I've heard, I'm not kidding, like at least from 7 different comics. No one here, of course. But so then the hack
Sure.
joke is, oh, we used the extended pleasure condoms. It numbed me, and then she gave me head, and then she was like, "Was that good?" Oh, hilarious!
Right.
It made her
Got
mouth numb. Like, anyway,
I-
so if you're
I think that's a
aspiring to
brilliant
be,
joke.
He's
I
like,
wish
how can I,
wish
do it
I
myself?
thought of that. Yeah.
yeah. So if you're, my advice is if you're aspiring to be a
What do you
comedian,
mean? Oh, it numbs you. What does that
It's-
mean?
like it numbs like after she gives him
No,
head.
I get the joke. What for the actual condom? What do
I
you
think
mean?
it's like
No,
a cream or something.
Yeah,
that numbs
Something
you a
like
little
that.
bit.
It's I've never used them. Basically, I use what I call God's numbing agent, and that is Durame La Privote. I mean, like this works great. It's you can keep going and going. You're not going to come as fast. You give yourself what I call gentleman's whiskey dick. You just kind of have. Just a couple drinks, just a few. It's
Yeah.
going to keep you, not to where it keeps you from coming at all or keeps you from getting hard, but you just drink just enough to.
This is
to
all
where it's gonna
bad
take 'em more.
advice. No one.
This
should
is
listen.
amazing advice.
don't
This is
know.
amazing. You sound just like the principal of every high school I've given this speech at, and I will not be booze shamed or fuck shamed by the likes of you
I'm
anymore.
Sorry.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so what other final advice do we have for this question?
Keep
We all pretty
fucking
much.
her. Make her beg.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep
What-
fucking her and make her beg was my favorite Maya Angelou poem. Keep fucking her. Keep fucking her.
Yeah.
Make her beg. Make her
That's
beg.
great.
Like it wasn't. It wasn't her. For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
made me cry the first time I heard it.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like my second ex-stepdad. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, he did do that really loud one night. And he was my favorite, dude. He cooked like really good lasagna. He was great.
I like it.
Love a good lasagna.
Yeah.
Let's make lasagna together as a team. We could have a Love Gurus lasagna night.
Yeah.
After she begs, cook her lasagna. It was a whole thing. Share it with her kids. Like it was a whole thing.
How long does
A ritual.
lasagna take to make start to finish? Like 4 hours?
A long time. Well, I make my own fucking noodles, dude. Like
Yeah, it
I don't
depends on
fuck
how
around.
Oh, you
much
use the
is
flour and
homemade.
everything?
Yeah, man. I actually have like an automatic press thing.
Ooh, that's cool.
100%.
Wow.
Dude. Yeah.
Dude, you're killing it.
I don't fuck around, dude. You make your own noodles. It takes it to a whole new
His
level.
baby's
Any
just going to eat
process.
lasagna all day.
Yeah. He's gonna be the fattest, happiest baby there's ever
Aw.
been. He's
Yeah.
gonna look just like me with slightly less hair. That's gonna be my
Same
baby.
flannel and everything.
We're a little bit behind on questions. Joel says, I think this is for the last question. He said, I killed a woman in a video game.
Second part, very important.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
No, there was
what's
no
happening?
second point. He just,
I killed
you know
a
what I
woman.
mean? I think
Yeah.
he's currently masturbating right now. There is no second part. No, he says, I killed a woman in a video game, and I'll have you know that I only have 7 heads in my freezer. Generalizations hurt, Jake.
Well,
Tyler on YouTube says, here's some advice for Reddit people. Go to WebMD and get your answers. It's more solid than what I or Joel
wow, those hacks.
will
Fair
provide.
enough.
Yeah.
Those losers? No. You come here for all your
It's-
sexual advice.
But WebMD is not more solid than what the love gurus will tell. Joel on YouTube says, the condoms have a desensitizing coating. I still can't figure out why my wife's lips are numb when she comes home after working late. There you go.
that was
Joel
great.
did it. He did it.
Add another little
did
twist.
it.
I can't
Added
believe
another little
it.
twist. See,
We should all have one of these
Eddie
jokes in our
Hack
back
says
pocket.
my wife's lips are late. He's added a third person. There was
Yeah.
a twist to that.
There we
Well,
go.
I must
Okay.
I must admit, egg on my face.
There we
Okay,
go.
That's right.
you did it. You did it.
You nailed
Joel.
it, Joel.
Comb in my mouth.
Yeah. And that egg made what? Her face numb. Yeah, 100%.
There we go.
Wow. Great joke.
So, any other final advice, or yeah?
My final advice is sort of like, she's wondering what happened the first time. You know what you did, but she doesn't need to know that. So you can either A, use my alcoholic advice, which I said just kind of drink a bit and it's going to keep you from coming. And that's also why I've aged this badly. I'm only 27 years old.
I'm 14.
And yeah, I mean, so just know that's the price you do pay for perfection, you know. But you could also do a thing to where it's like, well, you did something I liked night one that I really, really liked, and this night, you know what I mean? Or you just sort of like, you get her into weird fucking astrological shit, you know what I mean? Be like, oh, I'm a Capricorn. And sometimes we do that, sometimes we don't. But here's what helps Capricorn, according to this psychic who scans people for a living. And you just use that. You start a fucking pyramid scheme
For sure.
against the person you love.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, man.
Agreed.
And you know what the secret is. She doesn't. So you just you give her a goodie every now and then.
Yeah.
You know, you say. It's
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it's because last Saturday wasn't your birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday. And you just you use it for special occasions.
Yeah.
You break out the numbing agents for special occasions.
There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Special
Well,
occasion. That's what it says on the condom wrapper for special.
Yeah.
occasions.
totally. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, perfect. I think we answered that question.
If you
I
don't
think we
take the
answered-
Surgeon General's warning, that's on you, bro.
Truth.
But yeah, I think we answered that question perfectly. I think we answered all the questions perfectly. In my
I think
humble
we did too.
opinion.
I think we did too. Thank you so much to all the listeners. This has been an awesome episode. Thank you to our guests, man. Thank you to Vannessa Jackson, first time guest.
Yeah.
Thank you to James Pontillo,
Thank
returning
you.
guest. Thank you to everybody on YouTube, man. Thank you to Joel, to Tyler, to John, everybody, man. To Tim, to Amy. Until next week, later.
Yeah.